Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to this early edition of the Cricket Happening Show. This with you on a Saturday. And as far as today's show goes, there are three matches that are happening. I would say three test matches at various places. I'll be talking about those games, but as I said, there are three matches, so I won't be able to go into any nitty gritties, but I will definitely cover all the salient features of the game. So, just giving you a synopsis here. First, let's talk about the New Zealand versus Pakistan. It was day two at Seddon Park in Hamilton, and New Zealand actually really did a fine job, I thought, to recover to 271 thanks to Watling, who stuck it out there like a leech, and also Grant Home, who shows that he could be quite an aggressive player of playing the strokes with a stand and deliver approach. And Pakistan towards the close were really struggling in reply to 271 put up by New Zealand, as they lost half of their side for just 76 runs, with only Babar Azam offering some stern resistance with 34. And so basically New Zealand are they still require 195 runs. They are still trailing by 195 runs, and I think it's a very big task there for Pakistan. But they have two of their very good batsmen at the crease. One is Babar Azam, who's looking absolutely confident. At the other end, they have Sarfaraz Ahmed, and we all know that Sarfaraz Ahmed likes to play strokes. As far as Australia versus South Africa was concerned, we are talking about day three here at Adelaide Oval in the day-night test match with the pink ball. And I have to say that Australia definitely are close to actually not allowing South Africa to make history. As I said, if South Africa win the final test of the series, they'll become the first team ever in the test history to have beaten Australia, clean swept Australia in Australia. And right now, I can surely say that Australia are on the verge here. Definitely, they are going to, they look like definitely stopping it, because Australia extended their lead further yesterday to 124 runs as they were all out for 383. Mitchell Starc was the one who got his 7th test 50, so definitely says that Mitchell Starc is a very good batsman here. And South Africa, in their second dig, were struggling at 194 for 6, essentially only 70 runs ahead. It was Mitchell Starc and Nathan Lyon, the red arm off spinner, who really drove a sort of a real, I would say, a nail into the South African innings here. So definitely we are heading towards an exciting day 4, one could say. As far as India versus England was concerned, it was the first day's play in the third test match. It was a good toss to win, I thought, after looking at the behavior of the pitch, which probably could really crumble in a very big way. And England took the right decision of actually batting first. And so far, England have done a fair enough job, I think, because India dropped 4 catches, and India decided to bled their new batsman, Karun Nair, who has been scoring prolifically in the domestic scene. So he was given a test debut. India deciding to drop Riddhiman Saha, the wicketkeeper, and Parthiv Patel taking his place. And also they brought in, that was the time, and Karun Nair coming in place of Rahul, who was injured. And England, by virtue of that, Jonathan Bairstow was the only one who is having a great run. This has been a great year for Johnny Bairstow, and I'm sure he's going to be one of the contenders for the ICC Cricketer of the Year award, because he has done tremendous service to England, and he was the one who carved a wonderful 89 among the tough going that England had yesterday, as England finished at 268 for 8. So definitely we will say the honors definitely belonging to both, I would say, because India dropped 4 catches there. Well, I'll come back to that. But first, we'll start off, as I said, right now. I'm only going to look at the salient features. So let's head towards the New Zealand versus Pakistan match. And as far as talking about day 2 is concerned, as far as New Zealand were concerned, they had G. Travel and BJ Watling in the middle. Nichols was there, but Nichols contributed only 13 with 2 boundaries. G. Travel did not add further to his, he just took his score. He was the highest scorer once again, like as in the first test match, as you first test match, as you would remember. He scored identically that. He scored 55 runs with 9 boundaries, and he's definitely a player for the future. Granholm, what he showed was he has shown one thing, that Granholm, that he can score very, very quickly, and I think he could be a real asset in the T20 and one-day version of cricket, no doubt about it, because Granholm showed that he could be an aggressive all-rounder, and that was what he did. He played some agricultural shots, some could say, and he also shown, he's one who likes to, stand over there and actually deliver the blow, and that's what he was precisely doing in a very good knock of 37 with 5 boundaries. Watling, as is his wont, he normally is the one who could be a sort of an adhesive for New Zealand always, because he actually likes to hold the innings together, and that's what he precisely did to nurture this New Zealand innings to 271 all out, as he contributed 49 with 7 boundaries. Mitchell Santner's 16 with 3 boundaries. Saudi made 29. Saudi basically, what he did is he decided to really have a go at Wahab Riaz, I would say, because what he was doing is he was playing unorthodox strokes, and we know Team Saudi normally plays unorthodox stroke, and what he was doing is he was leaving the stumps and he was backing up and really hitting the bowlers, and he was really I would say putting a sort of real confusion in the field for Pakistan, as Tim Saudi contributed 29 with 5 fours and 1 6. Matt Henry made 15 with 3 boundaries, and Neil Wagner was out for 1. 271 all out, but BJ Watling, as I said, stuck it out like a leech, as he was not out on 49 with 7 fours. So as far as the bowling was concerned, Mohammad Amir, 19 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 59. Sohail Khan was the pick of the bowlers. He bowled excellently, I thought. 25 overs, 6 maidens, 99 runs and 4 wickets. Definitely one has to say that Sohail Khan, one of the deliveries that he bowled to Tim Saudi, when Tim Saudi was smashing them all across the park, he actually got a beautifully bowled delivery, which actually bowled it from the back of the hand. It came ever so slowly, and Tim Saudi was absolutely befuddled, and he lost his stumps to Sohail Khan. Imran Khan did a good job, I thought, bowling down the wicket to really slant the ball across to the batsman, and he did a fine job. 20.4 overs, 5 maidens, 52 runs and 3 wickets. Wahab Riaz 18-4, 57-1. Azhar Ali 109 for 4. As far as Pakistan were concerned, in their reply, they struggled. The struggle all started with Tim Saudi definitely generating a lot of swing there, as first he got the wicket of Sami Aslam. In fact, he got 2 of 2. First he got rid of Sami Aslam by getting him caught by Raval in the slips for 5 with 1-4, and then what a delivery he bowled to Azhar Ali. It just moved in a shade. He started pitched on the off stump and just moved a bit further, and Azhar Ali nicked it into the waiting hands of the keeper for 1. And then Yunus Khan was really, one looked at he was looking a bit confident, one could say, but Yunus Khan definitely fell for the bait, as Saudi was generating some enormous swing there, and Yunus Khan, trying to actually play a shot through the offside, ended up nicking to Watling behind the stumps. He was gone for 2, and Yunus Khan continuing a poor run here. But Babar Azam was pretty solid. He was getting right behind the line of the ball, and as you know, he has a good eye too, and he was the one man, I would say, was dealing with the New Zealand bowling very well, as he contributed an unbeaten 34 with 5 fours towards close of play. Asad Shafiq, now this was then after Saudi did the damage, early damage. Wagner poked a lot of holes into this Pakistani lineup when he actually picked up Asad Shafiq by actually clean bowling him for 23 with 4 boundaries. And Mohammad Rizwan on his debut collected a golden duck as he forced Mohammad Rizwan the very first delivery that Neil Wagner bowled. I mean, he welcomed Mohammad Rizwan on his test debut to the crease by bowling him a bouncer, and Mohammad Rizwan obliging by hooking, and Henry taking a good catch at long leg. He was gone for naught. Not a good debut for Mohammad Rizwan as Sarfraz Ahmed joined hands with the ever so solid Babar Azam as Sarfraz Ahmed ground out to 9 runs. He not out on 9 with 1 boundary. Babar Azam 34 5-4s, and Pakistan were really they had their scores absolutely backs to the wall situation. It was 76 for 5, trailing still by 195 runs to reach that New Zealand total of 271. The bowling, Tim Southee was absolutely excellent. 11 overs, 3 maidens, 26 runs and 3 wickets, making the ball talk. Neil Wagner was the other wicket taker, 5 overs, 1 maiden, 15 runs and 2 wickets. Matt Henry, 9 overs, 2 maidens, none for 13. And Grant Holm, 4 overs, 2 maidens, none for 21. So that was the match situation as far as New Zealand and Pakistan were concerned on day 2. Now, let's head off to the South Africa versus Australia match, the day-night test match. And as I said, the Australia actually extended their lead to 383 thanks to Usman Khawaja. Usman Khawaja didn't last long. He contributed only 145 with 12 boundaries. But Mitchell Starc was the man who made it happen to get Australia a very good lead of 124 runs as he scored his 7th Test 50, contributing 53 with 5 fours and 1 6. Nathan Lyon was out for 13. Shamsi getting his maiden test wicket there with 1 boundary. Jackson Bird was a victim of Rabada for 6. Hazelwood remained not out on 11, but it was only thanks to Mitchell Starc that Australia, I wouldn't say piled on, they basically managed to get 124 runs lead, which was very good stuff from the Aussies here. And Hazelwood was not out on 11. The bowling, Philander 2 for 100, 3 for 49 for Abbott, 3 for 84 to Chris Rabada. Shamsi picked up his maiden test wicket, 1 for 101. And as far as South Africa were concerned, well, in their second innings, trailing by 124 runs, their struggles continued. Mitchell Starc provided them the breakthrough as Dean Elgar snicked the ball into the slip cordon, and Stephen Smith picking up the snaffle. He was gone, snaffling it up. He was gone. Elgar was gone or not. Hashim Amla rode in. Stephen Cook was the other end. Stephen Cook definitely trying to really occupy the crease, which he does best, and definitely one wouldn't say he was looking very graceful, but what was good was he was really proceeding at snail's pace, which was perfectly okay, and but he definitely kept the Aussie bowlers at bay. Hashim Amla joined him. Hashim Amla was looking good. He was looking in fine touch, stroking the ball freely and fluently, but Josh Hazelwood, who has actually taken Amla's wicket probably every time he has bowled in this test series, and he was the bunny. Once again, Amla became the bunny of Hazelwood as he forced Hazelwood forcing Amla to actually nick a ball behind. And also, if you look at Amla's dismissals in the series, we have seen that most of the dismissals, or almost all the dismissals that Hashim Amla has got, he has been caught either behind the wicket or in the slip. So that is something which Amla needs to really work on, I would say, as Amla is not having a good time. I mean, if you look at his records in the recent past, right from when he played against India in India, one has seen that he has been struggling, and 47 has been his highest score. So Amla contributing 45, Hazelwood getting him 6 fours and 1 6. Nathan Lyon forcing Dumini to actually sweep a ball, and he was gone for 26 with 4 boundaries, but Stephen Cook was living on. He was the one who was fighting it out there at the centre. And after that, Duplessis didn't last long. He was a victim of Starc for 12 with 2 boundaries. Tenda Bouma was looking good. He was valiantly hooking and pulling, but then Nathan Lyon forced him to play a stroke, and he was gone, caught by Smith for 21. Probably Tenda Bouma trying to sweep Nathan Lyon ended up in the hands of Smith, who took the catch behind the wicketkeeper Wade. And Abbott was sent in as a night watchman, but to no avail. It didn't work as Kyle Abbott has LBW ball line for naught, And finally, when stumps were drawn for the day, Stephen Cook, for the first time in the series, had done a fine job for his team, as he was absolutely grounded himself with an unbeaten 81 with 7 boundaries. Quinton de Kock was not out on not, and South Africa closing the day at 194 for 6, only 70 runs ahead. And as I said, Australia probably close to avoiding a defeat here. No, I mean probably close, because with the look at things, they're only 70 runs ahead, and I think South Africa have a lot of work to do here. So probably they could quash the hopes of the South Africans becoming the only country which could have given Australia a clean sweep in Australia. So Australia definitely going to preserve the record, it seems. Mitchell Starc 271, 1 for 22 Hazelwood, and Nathan Lyon picking up 3 wickets for 48 runs. Now let's head off to India against England. We are talking about the first day's play in the third test match here at the Punjab Cricket Association Stadium in Mohali in Chandigarh, and we definitely saw that signs of the pitch. There were some balls which were reading up, and also there was some good bounce, so it could probably end up as the pitch could really crumble, and it could really help the spinners, and uneven bounce. And as I said, that's the reason I said that English captain Alistair Cook winning the toss and electing to bat was the right decision, as India would be the ones who will be batting last on this track. And as you know, England have some good spinners too. They have Gareth Batty in the mix today, and they also have Adil Rashid, who could prove quite a handful, and he has been having the better of the Indians too. And as far as England were concerned, Alistair Cook and Hamid started. There was some good bowling from Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav, especially Mohammad Shami, who was actually getting the openers to square up, and Alistair Cook was dropped by Ravindra Jadeja, and as I said, 4 catches were dropped for the day. Alistair Cook, at the first wicket to go, Hasib Hamid received an unplayable delivery, I would say, from Umesh Yadav, which actually kept climbing, and Hamid actually getting the ball at the handle of the bat, and Rahane picking up the loop. He was gone for 9 with 1 boundary, but after that, Alistair Cook was the next to go was Joe Root. Actually, Jayant Yadav ran him off spinner, forcing Joe Root to play a stroke at it, and he was gone LBW for 15 with 3 boundaries. And then we have Alistair Cook, who was dropped actually by Ashwin himself, but Ashwin made amends by bowling the very first ball in this particular match and forcing Alistair Cook to play a cut shot, and Parthiv Patel taking the resultant catch there behind the wicket. He was gone for 27 with 6 boundaries. Moeen Ali actually was forced to play a hook shot against the bowling of Mohammad Shami, and Vijay taking the catch. He was gone for 16 with 1-4 and 1-6. And then Jonathan Bairstow got a promotion in the batting order. He came number 4, and I thought that was the right way to go, because you have to get your best batsman and the best person in form to occupy a large number of overs, and that's what precisely happened. Bairstow was sent in, and Ben Stokes joined him. Ben Stokes and Bairstow, as you know, they form an awesome combination, and they have scored 800 runs so far. And once again, there was a very good partnership that happened, which actually helped England recover to a certain extent, one could say, as Ben Stokes definitely had his struggles against Jadeja. He was not able to get the ball off the square when Jadeja was bowling, and he had actually made 29 runs, but only getting 3 runs of Jadeja. And then Jadeja actually foxing him by tempting Ben Stokes to have a go at him, and Ben Stokes duly obliged. In the process, he missed it completely as the ball turned, and Parthiv Patel was left with an easy stumping. Ben Stokes gone 29 with 5 boundaries, and Josh Butler, who came in, definitely made his presence felt by giving good company to Bairstow by contributing 43 with 5 boundaries, but then Jadeja picked up his wicket for 43, a very good catch taken by Kohli. After that, Jonathan Bairstow was going strong. He was really playing according to the needs of the game. He knew that his wicket was very precious, and he kept plugging on there. And Chris Woakes joined him, and Chris Woakes was giving good company to Bairstow, and they were slowly pushing on the score. But just 7 overs before close of play, Jayant Yadav got a straighter delivery, which Jonathan Bairstow could not pick up, and he was LBW for 89 with 6 boundaries. And Chris Woakes, towards the close of play, just at stumps, one could say, almost at stumps, Umesh Yadav nipped his wicket by knocking his off stump back for 25 with 3 boundaries, which left England with a score at 268 for 8. Adil Rashid was not out on 4, Batty was not out on not, And the bowling figures, it was equally shared by the Indian bowlers. Mohammad Shami 1 for 52, 2 for 58 Umesh Yadav, 2 for 49 Jayant Yadav, 1 for 43 for Ashwin, and Ravindra Jadeja 2 for 56. As I said, this pitch is going to become increasingly difficult to bat on in my reckoning, looking at the way the pitch has been behaving. Well, as I said, there's not much time to really dwell on anything. That's about it as far as today's cricket show goes. Hope you all enjoyed it, and wait for my next cricket broadcast, which will be on air tomorrow. Till such time, it's your host Ram signing off this on a Saturday. Thank you.